So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're going to talk about the brand new album by Swedish metal band Tribulation. And the record is called Sub Rosa in Aeternum. And this is the artwork for the album. So right off the gate, when you see this artwork, you see like the way the logo is, it's very clean looking and uh very different from their previous album. So yeah, Tribulation is a band that started as a death metal band, but they have been evolving. Their last three albums have had more like some goth thrown into them, but they've had like metal and like harsher vocals. But in this album that they just released last Friday, first of all, there's a few changes in the band. There's a few lineup changes, and with lineup changes comes difference in direction and how they write. And the other difference on this one is that this album has some pop elements thrown into the mix. So, in other words, if you're expecting a full-blown return to form death metal, this ain't it. But you wouldn't be surprised by it because the last 10 years or so, Tribulation has not been a death metal band. They really evolved, but their last album had a lot of doom and gloom with goth, but it had a lot of metal elements to it. But this one, the metal elements are sparsely here and there, like sprinkled in, but they take a really backseat. And really, goth is driving this record home on this 9 tracks and 40-minute affair. So right off the gate, you know that this is going to sound different, and this is going to be a very divisive album for fans of this band. Uh, I like goth music, but I also like their last album because I think they could have some goth elements to it, but kept that metal and sinister thing with elements from black metal, death metal. But black metal, there's no elements of that on this record. There's a few songs here and there where they get like more like harsher heavy metal type of like singing, like with Time and the Vivid Ore, and maybe in some parts on Saturn coming down, but very little. But that's it. The rest of this record is it's they went full goth, my man. Everyone, my couchers. This is a full blown goth record. Uh even like it's even more gothier than Unto Others last record because Unto Others is I'm telling you the Unto Others record is heavier than this one. But uh the pop elements here and there, there's some tracks that, for example, you have tracks like Tainted Skies, Hungry Waters, Murder in Red that really remind me of Ghost. Ghost is a band that they mix a lot of rock, but they mix a lot of like different elements from pop music. And on these songs, Tribulation kind of reminded me like them, and also a song like Reaping Song, which has a lot of piano in it. Murder in Red is a very interesting track because that one's like to me that's like one of the most pop songs on this record. It has like a this like piano part or synth part that I don't know why remind me of a lot of like 80s bands. Uh, but it's catchy, that doesn't mean it's a bad song. You have a little some songs that are a little bit faster, like Drink the Love of God. And like I said, Time and the Vivid Ore, that's the one with more flourish, sprinkles of a little bit of death metal, but I'm telling you, sprinkles, little sprinkles, not a whole lot of sprinkles. And I think my favorite track of the record is Poison Pages because that one has a very like new age, doff type of feel to it. And I like the way that the singing is done on this song. It's very infectious. But I gotta say, there's parts of this record that I wish it could get a little bit heavier because it seemed to be like it was too new age, too goth sometimes, and I like when Tribulation brought that sinister feel. this record does not feel that sinister. Like, yes, it is their most lighter album, and even like in the, I think even in the subject matter, it doesn't sound as menacing as like their last two records, especially Down Below. That one was a very dark record. Uh, but yeah, what they do, the band, instead of doing for dark, they go for catchiness and they embrace the pop elements. So basically, they're taking a risk with this record because maybe longtime fans from the band might be put off because this is not, you know, I wouldn't consider this even like to be a metal record. This is a rock record. Uh, and, the production sounds great. I gotta say that everything sounds crisp on this record, and the vocals are good as well. But yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of like metal elements in some of these songs because a lot of songs kind of sound like very similar sometimes. And even though it's 40 minutes, there were parts of the record I kind of like snoozed off and uh, or like, oh yeah, it starts like another song and I didn't even know it. So the Unrelenting Choir is like a 2 minute track and it goes into Tainted Skies. And if you're not paying attention, you're like, oh yeah, it's another song. At the first listens, I didn't even realize that it was a different song until I saw the track list. I'm like, oh, they're on the second track. But yeah, it's not obviously a bad album by any stretch of the means, but yeah, like I said, I don't know. I kind of miss like the more darker elements that this band used to have. But I see where they're going. This is more commercially appealing to people that don't listen to metal. So I think this is the type of record that could be a bridge for people to get into heavier stuff because it's very accessible record. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of Sub Rosa in Aeternum by Tribulation? Do you like the changes that they've done? Do you like that they went full goth, or would you like them to go back to more of their death metal roots? I don't think that's happening now, especially with the lineup changes. I think the band is going to go further down this avenue, but hopefully on the next record, a little bit more of aggression to their sound. I think would make it a little bit more interesting, at least for myself. So, couchers, vote. Let me know. Not vote, but yeah. Well, vote tomorrow, wherever you are. Yeah. For whoever who you want, you choose. But I want to know today. Comment down below. What do you think of this record? What are your favorite tracks? And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to subscribe and do not forget to give me a like. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourselves. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on the couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.